Hello YouTube, it's Elite RC, and as you see, Project 5B is back in full effect. Got the O'Neal Brothers Racing Signature Series 32 drag mod with the works. Of course you got, like I said, I'm gonna go on this video, I'm gonna actually go over what I have in this whole car. So let's get to it. The pipe is an Olimat pipe. This pretty much is all stock, of course. Other than that, I have the FID, what they call these mud guards, modified for the 5B. This was originally for the 5T. I modified them. I have a video on that. Go back through the catalog and watch that if you want to be able to do it. It's not hard. Shock socks, whatever they call them. Basically, that's upgraded. I put the aluminum sway bar mounts on there. This kit pretty much, okay, yeah, we got the chassis. That's a Bartolone chassis mount for the rear. Got my GTB gas cap. And like I said, this kit pretty much comes with everything you need to run it without being extreme. Any type of upgrades you want to put on her makes it extreme, which that's not bad if that's what you want to do. I'm running in the center diff. I took the diff out and I'm running a Monster Locker, a Vertigo. That rubber, the piece of rubber that holds the pin out, I don't use the rubber anymore. I got away from all of that. I use small zip ties. You never lose the pin that way. iKelly kill switch. Once again, like I said, I got front sway bar mounts, aluminum. I use the the JX servos. All three of them JX servos. I have the FID servo mount stiffener. Comes in handy when it comes to braking and all of that. Killer RC switches. I use a battery. And I have this car wired up differently also. I use Gen Ace batteries and super cap, Hobby Wing super cap. And then I have this one mounted up to, one goes for the power of the car and one goes for the power of the servos. This car is wired up with independent power for the servos, so it doesn't, my servos are not powered off of the receiver. They're powered straight from the battery, and the signal is sent in from the receiver. It's that's done by Dark Soul. A lot of wiring for that, but they have their own independent power coming straight from the lipos. They receive the signal, what to do from the transmitter through the signal on the receiver, but all the power comes directly into the servos. That's why you see I had to solder two connectors to it. Real serious. I did a video on that too. I don't know if people caught it, but it's one out there on it. Oh yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I used 30 degree north. If you can see, that's a 23.2. People, this kit comes with a 20 and a 22. Does not do your top end any justice. That 20 is terrible. I guess that's strictly for the racetrack. You run out of gears so quick. You probably run out of gears on a straightaway. So basically, you can get the 23, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that my spur is a 54. So you get a lot of top end out of this setup, especially if you got a powerful enough motor to run it. Which you ask me, any good engine, even the G320s, you can get decent speed out of this setup. For some fact, you will not run out of top end. Not, it's a good all overall gearing, low and high. So that looks like the rest of this is pretty much stock. I didn't want to change these. I didn't want to change this. I wanted a lot of breaking points just so if something break, it'll be pretty cheap to replace. I'm already up there on everything else I do. And pretty much other than that, I run Bishop Super Spikes on here, front and rear. 3-inch rear, 2-inch fronts. And that's pretty much it. That's the 5B. This engine right here is needs a break in. I break in at 28 to 1, people. Yes, I do heat cycles, even though some people say it's a waste of time. When you got money invested in your product, this ain't no fucking roving engine. When you have money, and if it is a roving engine, I broke those in the same way before I gave them away. When you have money that you work hard for built into your investment, because that's all these are, is investments that I plan on keeping, because reselling RCs is not gonna bring the real worth behind it and what's going on with it. So, but when you take your hard-earned money and actually purchase something, I'm gonna break it in a way that I know I'm going to get longevity out of it. Not a way I know I can, because it'll run on a certain ratio, don't mean that I'm going to run it on that ratio. I need my shit to last. I'm not talking about a year, 1, 2, or 3 years. I need to last 5 to 10, which they will if you treat them right. So that's all I'm gonna brush up against that. A lot of these engine builders from now on, they're not going to really warranty bullshit if you mess it up doing something stupid. Put it that way. So yeah, this is the 5B. I have 1 heat cycle, which I'll show on here so far that I've done. I need to do 2 more heat cycles, and then I put it on the ground and get a little load in it and get that piston seated. Other than that, this is Elite RC. This is the 5B. We back in action. Running pretty smooth. Also, yeah, I got a few videos I'm gonna throw up behind here that I did. I took all of my bearings out on the wheels, and I put a little bit of marine grease in there, and because if it's a wet surface, I don't want the bearings to lock up, so I put a little bit of racing oil and a little bit of marine grease. Just in case it get wet, it won't lock up. That marine grease will keep going. It won't sit there and allow the bearings to rust out, because that's mainly what happened. The bearings get moisture in them and they rust. The ball bearings rust out, and voila, you have a locked up bearing. You can free them up sometime, but other than that, I service those, and I service the CVDs. I put more black grease on the CVDs, and just getting my drivetrain together, keeping it smooth before I get back to it. I'm going on vacation next week, so it's gonna be some running footage coming out of this out of the workshop. Once again, I'll show a little footage at the end of the video, and it's Elite RC. I'm gone. All right, it's Elite RC. We got an unboxing going on here.